You know the saying of how endless scrolling is stealing our attention? Even educational content that is supposed to help us out, short form content, people say is the devil. It's shortening our attention span. But what if I told you there's a way to flip it and use short form content to actually have deeper learning? Now, I totally acknowledge that short form content like Reels and TikToks have definitely sucked me into like the death scroll for like hours upon hours, which is not really good in the long run. Or even in the short run. For me, I see these as opportunities. If we want to flip that coin and actually turn these into opportunities as launch pads. Now, of course, it depends on the content that you're actually viewing on platforms like these. But if you're just using it strategically, like you go on the platform for a very specific reason to learn something, then you can actually flip this coin around. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to turn short form content, endless scrolling, into strategic learning as a launch pad to really dig deeper into deeper learning. So watching endless videos, even longer form videos, and just continue to watching them on productivity hacks or learning hacks or business strategies, hours upon hours spent on these videos is going to get you nowhere. And that's the trap. That is passive learning, or getting stuck in analysis of paralysis, where you're thinking, oh, I need to learn more before I actually get out there and do something with it. No, I'm not knowledgeable enough to be able to start my own business or be productive. Now, learning feels good, and that is the illusion of progress. When you're sucked into these videos, you're watching one right now, but I'm giving you actionable tips later in the video to actually apply and get out of the trap of being sucked into the videos endlessly. Analysis paralysis will truly prevent you from making progress. So the first step here is really awareness that you're stuck in a trap and that you need to find your way out, dig your way out, climb up to the top, and see there's a whole new world out here of my ability to accomplish something. So in order to do this, you need to adjust your mindset. When you are opening up that app, Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is, and then you open up and start scrolling, if you come across an idea, what I want you to do is write it down or ask yourself, where does this idea actually come from? Like, I'm a big fan of Dr. Huberman. I've seen him on several podcasts, and he'll state an idea about neuroscience, about how we learn, and I'll be like, that's interesting. Okay, so rather than scrolling through more videos, what I do is I do a search on Google, on generative AI of some sort. I'll see if there's any books out there, any deeper material on that topic. And then if it's within my financial ability, or thinking, okay, how many other things do I have going on right now? How many other materials am I reading? Then I might find a book on that topic and pick it up. And then I might try to think of what are the actionable steps that I can actually take to implement this knowledge. The key here would be not to get stuck in the brainless or mindless or whatever scrolling of the application that you totally enjoy, TikTok or Reels or YouTube. The key point would be to note down and to get out there and start searching for deeper content on that topic. Using this strategy will allow you to dig deeper. If you create a bank of notes, whether it's a physical notebook or you store your notes online somewhere in Notion or a Google Docs, this will allow you to have a running data bank of knowledge that you've researched. And then you can also maybe create a different strategy for implementation, like a notebook on implementation. I've got one right here on my desk. I always use this thing to write down my ideas, to write down the steps I want to take, and then actively pursue those goals. And I actively pursue what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. I think you can do the same if you actually implement what I've suggested here or adapt it to your own style. An easy number that you can go by here when you're opening up your Instagram or TikTok is, if you're going to scroll, then just do like 5 minutes of scrolling. Stop it there. If you notice a video that catches your interest, that makes you ask a question, or that you learn something new from educational content creators, write that down and then spend 15 minutes of study or 20 minutes of deeper study, and then even longer of actual implementation and creation. If it's a content idea that you want to try to implement, or a business idea, try to go out and do that. Or if it's something about your career, if you're a teacher or anything like that, then you can take that idea and then try to implement it next time. So end up using more time on actual implementation than you do on scrolling and even studying and researching. Now, of course, I don't want you to be one of those people who get stuck in the rut of analysis paralysis, continual consumption of content, especially short form content, which can be quite shallow. I would much prefer if you are the type of person who takes that short form content idea and then turns it into something even better, goes out there and researches, and then create something new out of it. I want to turn you from a knowledge tourist into a knowledge builder. So my challenge for you for this video is, next time you're scrolling, turn that into something that you are doing in your life. Actually something practical. If the educator, the YouTube content creator is giving you something very useful, if it's a TikTok video and they're giving you something useful, take that idea and then go out there and create something out of it. Even if it's messy at first, even if you're just writing in your journal, doing something with that knowledge, writing it down and then creating something out of it is something that you want to do. Rather than being the type of person that watches science explainers, you should be the type of person that goes out there and does the experiment. You experiment with the knowledge that you have, rather than just letting it sit there. We're actually turning dopamine hits from TikTok videos and reels and YouTube shorts and even longer form content into dopamine habits. You will get a hit of dopamine from actually creating something. Getting out there and doing it will make you happier rather than scrolling and being sucked into your phone. So really, short form content is not the problem. It's not making us dumber. It's not making us a shorter attention span. Well, it may be in some people, but if you are the type of person that actually gets out there and does something, then you are using short form content to your advantage. So if you wanted to learn more about this topic, check out my video on learning when to quit thinking and start taking action.